What's up, everyone? It's the Portfolio Plug. In this video, I'm going to break down how I was able to make 73%, $1,800 in just 10 minutes trading today. Caught some Tesla puts, caught a banger today, 73% on some Tesla puts. Ooh, shout out to our members. Shout out to our members. So this is our Discord right here. And then as you can see, this is the profits channel. In the profits channel, I keep everyone updated minute by minute as we are in the trade. From 9:41, I sent out the signal when the trade was at $1. That's what that was. The original entry was at $1. And then literally 1 minute later, $1.13. That was the cost of the contract. Right here. Ooh, $1.70. 73%, as you guys can see right here. All right. And then remember, for the contract, right? If the contract is at $1.13, what happens is you multiply that by 100. That was the cost of the contract would be $113 because one option contract is equal to 100 shares. So whatever the contract cost price, whatever the contract price is, times it by 100 is what becomes the price that you will be paying for that contract. So let's take a look real quickly at what I was looking at that got me to that point, right? So this was pre-market. So today, the inflation data came out. So I knew automatically we were going to have a crazy price action kind of day today. I knew either we're going to go shooting up, coming down. Like I knew we were going to get some form of direction because all week we've just been moving sideways, right? So this is pre-market. This was what I sent to our members earlier. This is what the 829. This was right when before the inflation data came out, just so they can see the difference between prior to inflation data being released and then after, right? So as you can see here, you got a couple of greens and a lot of like sideways action, which is you don't really have a clear direction where it's like up in the air. So as you can see, right? So we had Tesla was currently red. NVDA was red. We got the Apple, Microsoft, they were green, but not by much. And everything else was kind of like literally just moving sideways, as you can see here. So when there's no clear direction, what you get is sideways, there's a chop movement. And this is what we have. So this is SPY, the S&P 500. This is the 5 minute. And then what you were looking at with all these colors, this is the heat map. It tells you, gives you a quick snapshot of what the market looks like. And this is the 1 minute of the S&P 500, all before the inflation data came out right here. Sideways, just moving sideways all week. And then as soon as the inflation data came out and the results were positive, were better than expected, SPY took off. It's like a rocket, just shot up. It went from 373, 374 to 384, 385 in that 1 minute, just like that, right? So as soon as that happened, I knew automatically what was going to happen is we were going to have a pullback. And the reason why I thought we were going to have a pullback, because when it shoots up that fast, everything just became completely overbought. Every stock just went up at the same time and became completely overbought, right? Because if you look from before, look at this green, right? And then this red, this little mix of colors here. And now look at this. Look at this. It's like night and day, right? So right after that, that's when I set up my pre-market watch list. I set up my watch list for the day, came up with my plan of what I was going to do, right? And in my watch list, I had 3 things set up. I had SPY, QQQ, and Tesla. These were the 3 major things that I was looking at. I also was keeping an eye on NVDA, AMD, and Amazon as well, based on the pre-market price action. But my main focus was SPY, QQQ, and Tesla. And Tesla, my entry points were, so this right here tells pretty much I give you what for a call or put what I would be entering at what price points, right? So for my entry for Tesla, I wanted to get in some puts at $188.20 or to target $186.30, or I can get in at a 185 and 38 cents to target $184.74. All right, so pretty much I have everything planned out, right? And then the reason why I chose these 3 stocks was because, one, the S&P 500, which is the overall top 500 companies in the stock market, I knew automatically when you have the CPI, what's going to happen, you're going to get a major move to the upside or downside for the whole market. So you want to be able to trade the whole market. So you want to be able to trade things that's going to have volume, and the S&P 500 has plenty of volume. and therefore you get major movement in either direction. And then QQQ holds all the tech stocks. So that's Apple. Let me just show you real quickly. All right. So QQQ, this would be the QQ technology, right? So you have the NVDA, the Microsoft. This is you looking at QQQ. So this side automatically before in pre-market, this was giving the most major move. I knew this was the going to be a hit right here, or these two right here, because they had the biggest movement. They're the ones that kind of direct or dominate the market and the price action. They have the biggest impact in the S&P 500. That's why their size is like that, because they hold the biggest portion in the S&P 500. So that, and then Tesla, because Tesla, all week, Tesla has been getting beat up. And that's after the Twitter purchase by Elon Musk. So he sold off about $4 billion in Tesla stocks in order to finalize the purchase. So I knew Tesla was either going to continue going down or was going to get a move to the upside. But it was oversold before, and it had been either coming down hard or you'll get a crazy bounce. So either or, I knew that was going to happen, right? So therefore, I just went from there and just looked at the chart and just kind of broke it down from there, right? So pretty much I gave my watch list what the plan was for today. This was the game plan. And then right after I gave the watch list for the game plan, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to pull it up and show you exactly what I was looking at that got me to get to that point, right? I'm going to pull up this is Thinkorswim that I'm using here. This Thinkorswim, this is by TD Ameritrade, one of my favorite platforms to use. And the reason being is because the option chains, you're able to get everything. Most platforms don't give you everything, but Thinkorswim, they give you everything. So it makes things a lot easier, and you can get faster fills for your contracts, or you can get in and out of a contract faster. And that's very, very important when it comes to options trading, because a minute, 30 seconds, that can make a difference. That could be the make or break for you winning or losing a trade, right? So let me move this down, right? So if you take a look right here, right? So this is the S&P 500 SPY. I'm going to just show you. If you can see, so it was moving sideways from yesterday. This morning just kept moving sideways. That's it. There was no movement, no major movement from yesterday, just sideways, sideways, sideways up into this morning. And then the report comes out, right? It was at 373, and then it shot up. It shot up to $384, $385, all in pre-market. This is all in pre-market. Look at that. Ooh, let's pull up the 1 hour so you guys can see. Look at this. Move sideways pretty much all of yesterday, pretty much all of this week. And then as soon as it came out, positive results, and it shot up, went through the roof, right? So when that happens, what I like to look for is when the stock is either overbought or oversold. If we get a major move to the upside like that, so a major move to the downside. So automatically, I'm thinking, okay, it shoots up like that. The market isn't open yet, and it's just so up. It's up so high. I'm thinking automatically, all right, it has to come down to retest some levels before it continues to go up. What goes up must come down. And what you'll see in the stock market, when a stock shoots up like that, right, it normally comes down a little bit before it continues to go up, right? So you'll get a little bit of consolidation. So if you look, this is the RSI, right? This is the relative strength index. That's what the RSI stands for. And then the RSI tells you if something is overbought or oversold. If it's over 70, that means it's overbought, right? Overbought. That means to expect a move to the downside. That doesn't mean it's automatically going to happen right then and there. It's just to expect a move to the downside. And if it's oversold, that's if it's 30 or below, that means expect a move to the upside. So what happens, you'll get some form of a bounce, and up here you'll get some form of a rejection, a move to the downside before it starts coming back up, right? So let's take a look at Tesla so you can see exactly what made me get into it and what I was looking at the time. So I'm going to pull up the 1 minute chart for you. So I was looking at Tesla on the 1 minute and the 5 minute charts. This was the two that I was looking at. All right. So if you look at the 1 minute, literally, you see the RSI literally has been overbought throughout that whole time. Overbought. See, so automatically I knew, all right, being that it's overbought, we're going to get a major move to the downside. So all I needed to do was to stick to my spots So went back. Let's take a look. All right. I knew automatically all I need to do is get into my spots. Right when the market opened, it was already high from the get-go in pre-market. So when the market opened, it started coming down, right? But it came down so fast, I didn't get a chance to get it off the bat. So I knew, all right, let me just wait a little bit because only within the first couple of minutes. So I waited a few minutes and I was like, okay, for me to get in, I need to wait for these numbers, right? This is my second target to get in 185.38 or $174.74. So I can target $183.85 and $180, right? So I saw that starting to happen, right? I saw it started to approach these numbers, right? This is when I gave our members a heads up. As you can see right here, it says at 9:37, I'm looking at Tesla November 11, $170 put. So this is what I do before I get into any trade. I'll give our members a heads up so they can get ready and prep for the signal. So therefore, when I send the signal, all they got to do is just tap it in, submit, and then boom, they're in there. So therefore, right then and there, we're not missing any time. You can just go straight in there, right? And then from there, right after I send the signal, and then I come over here, keep them updated minute by minute on what's happening with the signal, right? So as I was monitoring it, Tesla, I started to notice that it was getting ready to approach my targets, right? So as you can see here, share it for you guys. All right. Let's see. All right, perfect. All right, so right here, right, it started to approach. If you notice, right, going up right here. And if you look here, show you right there. So currently it's overbought here. You see that? It's overbought. This is the 1 minute. Let's take a look at the 5 minutes. Overbought in the 5 minutes as well, right? So completely overbought. So I know it's going to have a move to the upside. The last thing I wanted to do was get into a call. Mind you, the stock market is up. Everything is green. And primarily, you don't want to go against the trend, right? And what I mean by that, if the market is green, you want to more likely play the green. If the market is red, you want to play the puts, because if it's moving downside, you want to try against some puts because the volume, the sentiment is bearish, or if the sentiment is bullish, then you want to play it to the upside. But something that's good to remember, with everything that goes up must come down. Everything that's going shooting down, you're going to get a bounce. So if you know that, you'll automatically know, okay, I can get into something, or I can play it where a put, where you want to technically, like, you want to buy something when it's high for a put and sell it when it's low, or you want to buy something when it's low and sell it when it's high. And what I mean by that is, if the stock is high, right, you want to play the put while the price is high, because you make money as the stock comes down. And if the stock is low, you want to get into a call. That's when you should be getting into a call, because you're buying it low, and as it goes up, you make profit, right? So the higher that it goes up, the higher that you make profit for your call, and the lower that it goes down, the more profit you make for your put. So as you can see here, the sentiment is all green. So I knew off the bat, this wasn't going to be a red day. This was going to be a green day. So this would have had to be a perfect entry, because pre-market, Tesla was red, right? Pre-market, Tesla was red. So I knew it would have to be a perfect entry, and to get in, to get out, and just kind of take advantage of it before we get a bounce, right? So let's see here. Sent out the signal at 9:40, right here. And then my target that I was waiting for was 185. So this is 185. Yeah, this was right there. Perfect. This is what I caught it. 5. And remember, guys, I got that from my watch list I had set up in pre-market, based on what I was looking at in pre-market. Let's just go back. Daily watch list, right? Tesla 188.20 to target 186.30, or $185.38, or $184.07. Either or. So it's either this or that. I would enter to target $183 and $180. So let's take a look. I'm going to see. So hit that target right here. I missed the original drop from here because it happened so instantly. I missed that original drop. So this was like right when the market opened, and happened right here. Market open, it was at $189, right? So this was when the market opened at, right? And as soon as it opened, it dropped here. And I don't like to trade within the first minute or two because you get a lot of consolidation. And I would like to wait for a true price action, right? 185 right here. This was my entry. And the reason why I got that entry, pull it up. So I did it using the 1 hour time frame, right? So right here, 186, right? That was the first part that I used, right? And then the second was, go back, we're going to use the pre-market time frame. 185 was pre-market. This was like, I saw this was a little bit of bounce right here going back towards yesterday, and I saw there was another bounce right here. This right here, as you see, this was a bounce right there. Let me remove it so you can see. No, let me highlight it for you guys. Go to tools. All right, so right here, this was a bounce point. So I knew if it broke 185.38, this would be the next target. This is how I got the $183, right? I knew if it broke it, this would be the next target. And if it breaks this, man, I'm like, okay, it's game on. It's hitting 180. And the reason why I got the 180 was, if you look over here, if you look in this side, all right, the 180 right around this area right here, this right here, this was the next support zone, right? Because this was a lot of consolidating happening. I knew this was going to be a major support zone. So this was going to be a potential bounce area. So if anything, I wanted to be in and out of the trade before it gets to that point right here, the 180.10. And if you notice, this is exactly what happened. Ended up bouncing off that, right? And mind you, there was nothing but positive news from the CPI data. So it was going to be a red day. It was going to be a green day. Tesla went up $13 today, but it wasn't a straight $13 shot. As you can see here, it went up and then came back down. So as soon as it bounced over here, I sent out the heads up to our members, right? And also, I'll leave the link below in the description if you want to get into our Discord. You can get in for free if you want to get into these trades. We do have limited access. So as soon as I sent out the signal, right, started working its way down. And then this was the first target that I had. So if you notice, I'm going to show you when it hit that first target. Profits, let's see. When it hit that first target, minimize this. When it hit that first target, I said, take profits if you're comfortable. You see that? So what I like to do, I always give our members a heads up when they can start taking profits. And then when I'll let them know when I'm going to take profits, I know right there. See? So 2 targets. The first target at 942, it hit. The second target right here, it hit right there at 945. And that's when I told them I was going to go take profits. And I ultimately end up closing it right here. Going to take profits 945, closed it at 950, 73% profit. Whoo, what a banger, right? So let's pull up the chart again so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. And this was because of CPI data. CPI data was great. What happens is the market shot up, boom. So I knew we're going to get a move to the downside, and I marked my spots because I knew this was the next level. Because it shot up so high, there wasn't as much resistance. There wasn't as much support. So I knew it would be a straight shot back down for a retest. And right here, it broke that support. I'm like, okay, it broke that support. Whoo, next stop is 180. And look what happened. 180 it hit. Right there. Perfect. And it bounced. And just kept bouncing and went right back up the rest of the day. So remember, RSI, if it's above 70, that means it's overbought. Expect to move to the downside. And if it's oversold, that means expect to move to the upside. Then that oversold has to be below 30. 30 or below is oversold. And literally I just use a simple formula. Sometimes trading can be hard if you don't know all the time it can be hard if you don't know what you're doing. But if you have a good setup, if you can plan correctly, then you'll be perfect. Because this was about 10 minutes and that's it. I didn't even want to trade after that. Why risk it? $1,800 in less than 10 minutes. There was no need for me to get into any other trades. Same thing I told our members. You made your profits, lock it in. because what happened is sometimes you can get greedy as the market is moving. You get excited, you want to get into another trade, and you give away your gains. Mind you, I could have made so much more money if I continued trading, but I could have also lost the money that I've made. So it becomes about managing and just, protecting your profits, protecting your gains, and not being greedy. Understanding I just made $1,800. Why risk losing that $1,800? Exactly. There's no point in doing that, right? So thank you guys for watching, and I'll leave the link in the description below to get into the Discord. I trade live every day, right? And if you have any comments, if you have any thoughts, just leave it below. And then also, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you find this video to be helpful. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.